Hi there, my name is Lauren Stone and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my husband Jason and I converted this 2019 Ram ProMaster to live in full-time for us and our 2 dogs while we travel and look for a new place to call home. It has been 346 days as of today that we have been living in a van, which is insane. Mind if I say here? So that means it's been a year since we sold our house in Greenville, South Carolina. This by far has been one of the best experiences I've had in my 36 years of living on this planet. But I have been alluding to something lately that I think it's time I finally get to tell you. So as you may or may not know, one of the main reasons that we built this van was so we could travel and look for a new place to call home. We wanted to buy land or a fixer-upper, something to build our own version of a homestead. I also quit my job back in April so I could pursue content creation like what I'm doing now, but also writing. Writing is like at the core of what I do. It's what I love, and I really wanted to give more time to my writing. But honestly, since then, I haven't really focused on the writing all that much. I spend most of my time doing partnership work and brand work, which is where most of the money is. And quite frankly, it's not a lot of money. Now, I'm a firm believer in timing, that everything happens not for a reason, but rather when it's supposed to happen. And one of the things I say a lot is you will be where you need to be when you need to be there. And I think I needed to step away from my corporate job to give myself the time to really listen to myself and figure out what it is that I actually want. So a few weeks ago, we got an Airbnb in Seattle, and I secretly did something while we were there that I've been thinking about for an extremely long time. Are you ready? Do I get a drum roll? When we were at the Airbnb, I applied for graduate school, and as of 2 days ago, I was officially accepted into the master's program for marriage and family therapy. Yep, I'm going back to school at 36 years old to become a therapist. Now, this might seem random, but I swear to you, it's not at all. When I was 18 years old, I told my mom that I wanted to take a gap year before I went to college because I had no idea what I wanted to do and I wanted to spend some time figuring that out before jumping into school. But she just looked at me and said, "That's cute. You're going to college." So I went to college. I didn't do that great at first. I partied a lot. And by halfway through my sophomore year, my advisor said, "Hey, like you really need to pick a major." And I just said to them, "Pick one for me." So I got my bachelor's in mass communications and public relations. So fast forward 15 years post-graduation, and here I am realizing something that I think I've always realized is that I don't like marketing. That's it. But it's so much bigger than that for me. All I've ever wanted to do is help people, to give them a safe space to show up as they are, to make people feel less alone despite how lonely and chaotic the world might feel on the outside. I've been in different forms of therapy for about 8 years now. And if I could go back in time and talk to my younger self, she probably would be going to school to become a therapist. But I guess, again, that kind of boils down to timing, right? Like, I think I had to go through a lot of different things in my life to get to this point. And I think that this is something I've known I wanted to do for a really long time, but I was always way too afraid. I'm too old to do this. Who do I think I am thinking I can help people? You already paid off your student loans, so why are you accumulating so much debt again? But when an opportunity presented itself merely because of a sequence of events that randomly occurred that brought me to this moment of, hey, you can actually apply, I figured I'm gonna apply. Let's just do it. What's the worst that could happen? They say no? Well, turns out they said yes. Okay, so now what? Let's just say this changes everything. First, let's start with the van, because that's why you're all here, right? Is the van. Whether it's because I built it or because I talked about my journey living in this van for the last year. Well, the good news is we aren't going anywhere anytime soon just because I'm starting grad school, but there are a few caveats. So we're still going to stick to the original plan where we're going to head south, following the coastline slowly, and then by mid to end of September, we're going to leave Southern California and make our way up towards the Northeast, visiting some friends and family. Then we're going to follow the East Coast down, again, visiting more friends and family, following the weather. And then at that point, we're going to get somewhere to rent for a month or two where we make our final decision of where exactly we want to be living. The reality is that grad school is going to be a lot, and I'm in an accelerated program, so it's going to be very intensive. While I am going to be getting started while I'm in the van, it's not sustainable for the long haul. And not to mention, I also need to be living in the state that I'm planning on getting licensed in to be able to do my practicum and internship work. So the idea of buying land isn't super conducive to us anymore. That doesn't mean that it won't happen. I do still think it's going to happen. I just think it's being postponed and will probably happen later on down the road. And quite honestly, I think that we have been leaning towards the idea of buying a fixer-upper at some point. I think that's more along the lines of where we're at right now and what we need for our family. And if we can't find anything that we can afford that we think is reasonable, then we're just going to rent until we do. Because let's be honest, the housing market is an absolute mess right now. And I'll also have to start paying student loans again. Yes, I'm fully aware that I'm making this choice. Now let's talk about finances. Now, one of the big reasons that we decided to live in a van was so we could pay off all of our debt. And as of a few months ago, we actually did that. We paid off all of our student loan debt and all of our credit card debt, with the exception of the van payment. We're still making those payments every month. So that's the last of the debt we have left. And we worked so hard to get us there. Now, thankfully, the school that I'm attending is a military-friendly school, so I do get a discount since Jason is a veteran. But I'm still looking at probably $40,000 that I'm taking out of student loans at the end of all of this, which is a lot on top of a mortgage and or rent, depending on what the heck we're even gonna do at this point. And if you've come to learn anything about me, it is that I have a scarcity mindset. I would rather live in a van and shower once a week than live with a fear of not having enough money. I can't live in that fear forever, which is another reason why I want to be doing this. Because yes, I want to be helping people, but the job path that I'm on right now, it just isn't sustainable. Right now, I'm only making around $1,800 a month. And that's on a good month. That's not going to work long term. We still want to travel more and eventually we want to have kids, but that's like another story completely for another day. So if I'm going to be working, I'd rather be doing a job that I really love, something that fulfills me, something that I feel like I'm giving back to the world, a world that feels like it's taking so much away from us. Now, here is going to be a little shameless plug. If you want to help towards my tuition for getting my master's, you can do so in a few ways. And they're very, very simple, easy ways that don't really ask a whole lot from you. You can like this video, you can comment on it, you can share it with a friend. That gets more people watching the video. You can also hype this video on mobile. That gets more people to see my video, which in turn helps me to make more money. You can also go through and watch other videos of mine, like other videos of mine, and hype other videos of mine. You can also donate through the Venmo that I've left in my description, but again, that is absolutely not necessary. That's just me asking, because if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So now you know what I've been alluding to and what I've been kind of keeping hush hush. I have a tentative start date, but I'm still waiting on a few things to kind of fall into place. So it's really just a matter of the waiting game right now, but it's going to be a lot sooner than I anticipated, which means I'm going to be in grad school living in a van, which is going to be very interesting. But as my mother says, if life isn't messy, then you aren't really living. So here is to the messiness of life. Don't worry, I am still going to be making YouTube videos. I'm not going anywhere. We are still living in this van. So please make sure to subscribe. It would mean the world to me. So thank you all for your support. And with that, I will see you all next time. Bye. How did I do? How about you, potato? How did I do? Excellent. What about you, honey? How did I do?